Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning class. Alright, so who wants to lead the prayer? Very good, Khalid. You may start now.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
Thank you everyone. You may now take your seats and please observe silence, okay? Very good. I can see that Warren's seat is empty again. Do you know why he's absent? No one knows? Alright, maybe I'll try to check on him later na lang, no, inshallah. So class, remember, we are family here, so we should check on each other din ha, like if everyone is okay or not. Okay, so to begin with, I want to ask you class, how are you feeling today? Yes, Nurjanna? Oh, it's a good thing that you feel happy today. May I ask why? Oh, that's lovely. I am happy that you are happy too, Nurjanna. But how about the others? Won't you mind if you share it to us? Go on, Akisa. Great! It is good for us to feel at peace. Anyone? Oh, why are you sad, Aman? Do you have any problem? I am sorry to hear that, Aman, but don't worry. Everything will be okay, inshallah. Class, I just want to tell you that if there is something that I or your classmates can do to help you over some things, do not hesitate to ask, okay? And we shouldn't also hesitate to help each other. Remember what I have told you? Yes, here in our classroom, we are family. Alright, so let us all close our eyes for a minute and relax our mind and body. Very good. Now, can I request all of you to please stand up? Very good, everyone. Now, it's time for our icebreaker. Come on, let us shoo our negative energies away.
Wash your head, wash your shoulders, body, body, bop, bop, bop.
Touch your tummy, touch your bottom.
Body, 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 bop. Wiggle your arms, wiggle your legs.
Body, body, bop, bop, bop. Shake your hands, shake your feet. Body, 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 bop. Body, body, bop, bop, body, bop, bop. Body, body, bop, bop. One more time.
Wash your head, wash your shoulders, body, body, bop, bop, bop.
Body, bop, bop. Touch your tummy, touch your bottom. Body, 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 bop.
Wiggle your arms, wiggle your legs. Body, body, bop, bop, bop.
Shake your hands, shake your feet.
Body, 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 bop.
Body, 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 bop.
Now, how do you all feel after doing our icebreaker? That's great! Now, you may now take your seats for we will now start our lesson. Very good, everyone. But before that, let us all watch this 10-minute video first, no? So then, I will ask you a question after you have watched the video, okay? Alright, here it is. Watch and hear me out.
Monsters with no fancy dresses. Although they may not be wearing fancy dresses, some people are still seen as monsters. Do not bully. Do not be a monster.
Oh, I'm so happy that you're here. Come on! Why isn't this working? I can't do anything right. I'm so useless. I hate this life!
During puberty, a person goes through many physical and emotional changes. Many of these changes are the result of new chemicals in your body called hormones. Hormones are special chemicals your body starts to produce more of during puberty, and they tell your body to grow and change in a lot of ways. Hormones can give you mood swings, sometimes without reason. You may feel very happy, and then suddenly you may feel angry or sad. Don't worry about it. Be gentle with yourself. It's normal to feel this way during puberty. If you're feeling very sad or very tired, overly anxious, overwhelmed, hopeless, guilty, or helpless for a long time, maybe a week or two, it may be signs that you're depressed. Being depressed is nothing to be embarrassed about. Depression can affect anyone at any time, no matter who you are, what you look like, what your gender is, or where you live. Even the rich, famous, or successful can go through depression. If you think you might be depressed, the best thing you can do is talk to someone who can help you. This might be a parent, a teacher, a guidance counselor, a coach, a doctor or nurse, or a member of your faith community. Just remember, you are not alone. Most people feel shy, nervous, or anxious at some point in their lives when meeting new people, trying out for something new, answering a question in class, or even talking to someone you like. When you're shy, nervous, or anxious, it's totally normal to feel butterflies in your stomach, a racing heart, or sweaty palms. But for some people, this anxiety and stress feels overwhelming and can make these situations feel scary. So scary that this person may feel uncomfortable participating in everyday social situations. It's often called social anxiety or social phobia. People who have social anxiety often still have friends and like to be around other people. But things like large groups or brand new situations can trigger feelings of anxiety that might feel so intense that they are paralyzing. The person might not want to engage in certain activities or experiences as a result. For some people, their feelings and reactions might be much more intense than for others, but it's not their fault. They can't just turn off their feelings or get over it. Social anxiety is when thoughts and fears are often exaggerated in someone's mind. But there are things people who suffer from social anxiety can do to help manage those feelings. Talking with a trained school counselor, social worker, or psychologist can help a person dealing with social anxiety learn more about what brings on their feelings and how to best manage them so they can enjoy life to the fullest.
words, what have you observed in the video? So if you want to answer, please raise your hand and state your name if you want to answer, okay? And do not answer in chorus. Yes, Muslima? Yes, it talks about our mental health. Excellent, Muslima. Anyone? Yes, Noraya? Different emotions of a person. It is very good, Noraya. But how about you, Benjamin? Bullying. You are a good observer, Benjamin. Alright, anyone? Please, do not be afraid to speak up, okay? Very good, Hanifa. It also talks about what? Yes, social anxiety and physical abuse. Since you all seem to watch the video intently, let us now tackle our lesson for today, which is mental, emotional, and social health concerns. Social anxiety, mood swings, bullying, emotional, and physical abuse. So those are your answers earlier, no? But before that, let us cite our learning outcomes first, no? So after this lesson, you will be able to identify the cause and effects of mental, emotional, and social health concerns to one's personality. And you can also develop empathy to other people who are undergoing problems with their mental, emotional, and social health. Alright, so what is mental health? Does any one of you know what is mental health? Yes, Hashim? Very good, Hashim. It talks about how we think and perceive things or situations. Very good. Can any one of you give an example of it? Alright, Terhata. You are right. Like someone who is thinking negatively or positively over some situations. Very good, Terhata. Anyone else? Farhati? Yes, being determined to achieve something is also an example of mental health. Very good, Farhati. Alright, so mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being, and it affects how we think, how we feel, and how we act. But how about emotional health from the root word emotion? Very good, Nurjanna. You being happy today is an example of emotional health, just like how sad Aman and peaceful Akisa were as well. Alright, so emotional health is an important part of overall health. It is your ability to cope with positive or negative emotions. Understand? Okay, so which includes your awareness of them. So it talks about your feelings and emotions, and diba, I have asked you lately, how do you feel? So being aware of your emotions and how to cope with it is also part of your what? Yes, very good. Part of your emotional health. And then the next one is social health. So social health can be defined as our ability to interact and form meaningful relationships with others. Yes, Farhati, do you have an idea? Yes, your relationship with your family, friends, classmates, and teachers are all its examples. How about you, Ashira? Correct. It is how we interact and socialize to other people or those who surround us. But there are also some factors that affect our mental, emotional, and social health, and these are what we are going to talk about today. Alright, so these are social anxiety, mood swings, bullying, emotional, and physical abuse. Alright, so social anxiety, sometimes referred to as social phobia, it is a type of anxiety disorder that causes extreme fear in social settings. So people with this disorder have trouble talking to people, meeting new people, and attending social gatherings. So they fear being judged or scrutinized by others. And then they may understand that their fears are irrational or unreasonable, but they feel powerless to overcome them. So social anxiety is different from shyness, no? So shyness is usually short term and doesn't disrupt one's life, while social anxiety is persistent and debilitating. Still following class? Okay, very good. So we all know the feeling of being nervous or uncomfortable in a social situation, diba? Maybe you've clammed up when you're meeting someone new or getting sweaty palms before making a big presentation. Public speaking or walking into a room full of strangers isn't exactly thrilling for everybody, but most people can get through it naman. So if you have social anxiety disorder, which also known as social phobia, the stress of these situations is too much to handle. You might, for example, avoid all social contact because things that other people consider normal, like making small talk and eye contact, make you so uncomfortable. So all aspects of your life, not just the social, could start to fall apart. So anyone with social anxiety disorder can experience it in different ways. But here are some common situations that people tend to have trouble with. So when you have social anxiety, you are afraid to talk on the phone. So just the thought of you talking to someone over the phone makes you nervous na. And then you are also afraid to perform in the crowd. So you are also afraid of being the center of attention, and you are afraid to interact with other people. And then you also might have physical symptoms such as you are experiencing a rapid heartbeat, no? And then a muscle tension, dizziness and lightheadedness, and then blushing, crying, sweating, and then you also experience stomach trouble and diarrhea, diba? And inability to catch breath, and an out-of-body sensation. So you experience those when you have social anxiety. And when you avoid or most social situations, it affects your personal relationships. So it can also lead to poor social skills. So your social skills isn't improving. And then you also have low self-esteem because you are sensitive to criticism. And then you also have you are also experiencing negative self-talk, or you have negative thoughts about yourself since you have low self-confidence. Alright, so the next health concern that we are going to discuss is mood swings. So it is a sudden or intense change in emotional state. During a mood swing, a person may quickly switch from feeling happy and upbeat to feeling sad, irritable, or angry. So mood swings are a normal part of puberty. During puberty, the child's emotions may become stronger and more intense. So your mood might change more frequently, quickly, and randomly. Okay, so you may have strong emotions that you've never experienced before. Alright, so it's common for you to feel confused, scared, or angry, and you do not know why you are feeling those emotions and feelings. So you also might be more sensitive and become more easily upset than usual. Alright, so do you understand what mood swing is? Alright, very good. So furthermore, there are signs of mood swings. So when you have mood swings, you are experiencing a display of sad and happy feelings, and then you also experience sleep disturbance. You do not have sufficient sleep, no, because you have sleep disturbance. And then you have poor social skills, and then you are being tired and irritable easily. So when you are experiencing mood swing, you become overly happy, hopeful, and excited, often inconsistent with external events. And then you become irritable and have a short temper. You become restless. You show increases in destructibility, and you also talk rapidly and in a pressured way where it is difficult to get a word in, and also you have a lot of energy and need very little sleep. And then the last one, you show poor judgment and make, yes, impulsive and harmful decisions. But during depressive periods, you may feel like you are empty, you're sad and hopeless, and you also feel guilty, and sometimes or most of the time you feel like you are worthless and helpless, and you do cry often, and you also eat too little or too much, and you also lose interest in things you usually enjoyed before. And the worst one is having thoughts of death, like developing a plan or intentions to hurt yourselves or someone else, and even attempt suicide or severe aggressive behavior. And those are the things that we are going to prevent. Okay, very good. And then going to the next one, we have bullying. So class, have you ever experienced being bullied? Or were you the one who bullied? Remember class, that bullying is never okay. So we should not do it, okay? Because it may cause a huge impact to the victim. Please, let us all be kind to everyone, okay? Okay, very good. So, bullying is unwanted, aggressive behavior among school-aged children that involves a real or perceived power imbalance. So, the behavior is repeated or has the potential to be repeated over time. So, both kids who are bullied and one who bully others may have serious and lasting problems. So in order to be considered bullying, the behavior must be aggressive, and it include an imbalance of power. So kids who usually use their power, such as physical strength, access to embarrassing information, or popularity to control or harm others. So power imbalances can change over time and in different situations, even if they involve the same people. And another one is repetition. So bullying behaviors might happen more than once or have the potential to happen more than once. So bullying includes actions such as making threats, spreading rumors, attacking someone physically or verbally, and including someone from a group or on purpose. So are you still listening, class? Okay, very good. Right, so teasing, this is a subtle type of bullying. So it affects person's self-confidence because he or she feels humiliated. Right, so the victim may feel like they are unwanted, inferior, and ashamed, and they also feel depressed, no? And they also feel anxious, like they are weak and unsafe. So they are not safe around people, ganon. And then the worst one is losing life. The victim may think that committing suicide is the best solution to end their misery. And then the next one, we also have emotional and physical abuse. Alright, so emotional abuse is also called psychological harassment. So it harms children's development into healthy adults. So it happens when a child is repeatedly made to feel like they are worthless, unloved, alone, or scared. So this is also known as psychological or verbal abuse. So it is the most common form of child abuse. Remember that, class? Okay, very good. So it can include constant rejection, hostility, teasing, bullying, yelling, criticism, and exposure to family violence. So the impacts of emotional abuse are just as harmful as physical abuse. Emotional abuse is particularly damaging to a child's self-esteem and what? Also their emotional well-being. So the victim of emotional harassment can destroy their relationship with their family, with their friends, classmates, and to those who surround them. And then it can also destroy their self-worth, like they think and they feel like they are worthless, like they're unloved, and like they're good for nothing. So that is emotional harassment. Am I clear, class? Okay, very good. Now, we have physical abuse. So, physical abuse may bring immediate harm to someone, but its effects can also be long-lasting. So, a person who has experienced physical abuse, especially in childhood, may be more likely to experience emotional and psychological difficulties later in life. So those who have survived domestic violence, an abusive relationship, or other abuse in adulthood may also experience distress related to the effects of abuse long after it has stopped. So the support of a therapist or other mental health professional can often help an individual to recover from these effects. Alright, so physical abuse can take many forms, remember, okay? And anyone might be a victim of abuse. So children are often more likely to experience abuse at the hands of a parent, a caretaker, or sibling, while an adult might be physically abused by a spouse, also a partner, a significant other. So elder abuse, mistreatment, or neglect of an older adult may also include physical abuse and is often perpetrated by a caretaker, okay? So who might be a paid professional or a family member then. So those in positions of power might also physically abuse individuals and their care. Alright, so the following actions are typically considered to be abusive, no? So these are punching, kicking, slapping, pinching, and then grabbing or physically restraining in a harmful way, and then also burning, shaking, and especially of a baby or small child, no? And then physical abuse can be beating then, whipping, poisoning, or otherwise causing illness. And then any form of deliberate injury that causes harm is what? Urjana? Yes, very good. Physical abuse. Alright, so physical symptoms of abuse might include burns and scalds, especially those that appear in particular or natural patterns like bruises, bite marks, frequent fractures, or even broken bones, and then chronic injuries then, or chronic health concerns. However, the presence of any of these physical signs may not necessarily indicate abuse, okay? Remember that? Kasi baka lahat ng makita nyo na ganon is you might think na physical abuse na yun, but not. Okay? Especially in children who can be prone to falls or other accidents that cause injury. So when an individual has frequent injuries or bruises, remember, okay, so when the injuries appear to have a pattern or when the explanation of the injury does not fit, then investigation of the situation may be recommended na kasi baka cause na yon ng physical abuse. So individuals, adults, and children who appear suddenly withdrawn, anxious or aggressive, or who exhibit any of the following behavioral signs, especially in combination with the physical symptoms that I have mentioned, may be experiencing abuse. These are insomnia, nightmares, or trouble sleeping. And then bedwetting or soiling oneself. So those are the children, no? And then another one is using drugs or alcohol, and then self-harming, threatening self-harm, and so on and so forth. Okay, class, so if you have experienced some of those that I have mentioned, please do not be afraid to ask some help, okay? And please do not be afraid to talk about it so it could be addressed and helped, okay? Alright, very good everyone. So those are the mental, emotional, and social health concerns that you have to be aware of. Remember, mental, emotional, and social health are important just how our physical health is important then. So we should take care of them all so we could live a good and wonderful life. So it is okay if we take it little by little. What matters the most is the progress that we are undergoing to achieve it. At least, di ba, may progress. Alright, so now, do you have any questions or clarifications about our discussion for today? You sure that you do not have questions or any concerns? Okay, if that's the case, then please study your lesson about mental, emotional, and social health concerns, for we will have an oral activity next meeting. Am I clear, everyone? Okay, very good. So I guess that's all for today, and let's call it a day. Thank you, everyone.